Hello, Lego lovers. This is Al, and this is one crazy parts review. This is the flower bouquet from the new Botanical collection line or theme that Lego has introduced this beginning of the year, and it is set number 10280 with about 800 pieces and retails for $50 in the US. And this is not fully the first bag. This is actually half of the first bag, I think, about. But either way, let's get into this insane parts review. First up, this. You can see a whole bunch of these on the side. This, I don't know how long it is, but it is one full axle. One Lego axle that is like almost a base plate long. And as you can see, there's a ton of them in here. So this is a huge, long part. I don't know how many uses this could possibly have, but it's the main part of the stem in here. And I have to say, it's still a crazy part to see in Lego. So big. I mean, I'm used to seeing axles maybe that big at the biggest. And this is like 3 or 4 times that. So you get 10-ish in here. I'm not sure, I didn't count them, and I don't really want to count them right now. But let's continue. Also in sand green, we have at least one of these in this bag. This crazy big long slope, which I don't see too commonly, but that is only in this set too. As you can see, we got some stud connections on the tip, which is interesting. And on the back, otherwise it's very similar kind of in concept to the other kind of slopes like this, where it kind of is like, it goes up and in. It's crazy. And the parts in this just keep getting crazy. So up top, we can see a ton of these. And this is dark green. I just love that dark green. And it's like an axle connector. You can kind of see there. So you could, connect the 2 of these axles together, and I can't even fit it on my camera, it's so long. But yeah, as you can see up top there is a ton of those, and I love the dark green, so that is fantastic. Gosh, it has to be around 20 of those. Also in dark green, we have only 4 here of the angled ones. As you can see, you got that pin connection in there. Otherwise, you have axle and axle connection. Nice to kind of, geez, all these parts are so smallish, but you can connect them. Have a really long type bend or knot. But let's continue. Also in dark green, we have the 1x1 like little stud plate with hole in it. Fantastic to see that. And there's not too many here, at least in this half of the first part of the bag, but you can see 5 there. This is probably a common part, this 2x2 circular plate. Also common is probably this little yellow circle, but then we still get more uncommon parts. So we have 5 of these right here, and as you can see, this is a Technic pinhole into 4 clips all around. Now this is another incredibly versatile type part, and there's a pile of them in here, and this one's fairly rare and like less than 10 sets. One of more common parts, but nice, is the kind of bracket all-around type brick. And as you can see, it's completely holed in, so you can stick these in at those, the bars. Also a nice little part is this horn in the reddish brown. Nice for little roots or twigs. What else? Oh my gosh. This in tan, not that special. But we also have a pile of this in tan, which is kind of just this interesting almost car, flaring or something. Just nice for texture and detail though. And if you put 2 together, they do line up fine. And there's other parts that you can put that kind of line up better with this little overhang there. And just right off the bat, you have, 12 of these? Nice number for that. And then in the flesh, which is a really kind of not common color to see parts in, we have a pile of these clips. Just a 1x2 plate into a clip there. And as you can see, a ton of those. So this is the first half of the bag one, and we're already off to a grand start. So let's check out the second half of bag one. All right, here we have the second half of bag one from this crazy parts review. Let's get into it. Here we have literally dinosaur wings. Yup. Did you think you would find that in a flower-based set? But it makes sense. From a distance, I can see this looking like a leaf. But as you can see, there's kind of a fade of color almost. 2 clip connections. Yeah. And there's 3 of them in here. It's just crazy. Oh yeah, you get a brick separator. Okay, so you get a lot of these red axles. Those are fairly common, but you get a lot of them here. You get 3 of these kind of cylinders in this green, not too special. But then we'll get into this tan, and you have a bunch of these parts. Just a nice part. I think they typically use them for like palm leaves, but you could use them for other things. 4 bar clips. You can put a bar inside or a stud, and on the bottom you also have a bar. Just a versatile piece, and as you can see, I think there's like 6 there. Just so many crazy parts here. And then in tan, we also have these brackets, kind of, I call these the under brackets, just because you kind of put them under a brick. Or on top, I guess, it really doesn't matter. But just a nice bracket piece in tan. Nice for kind of just tan colored things, desert, lighter colored trees, etc. And as you can see, there's a lot of them there. It's crazy. So let's go over here. And there are a couple black pieces. So we have quite a few of these kind of bar to insert a bar. If you can kind of see that. Another nice versatile piece. And as you can see, we have like 8 there. 3 of these brown stems. Those aren't that special. 2 of these kind of Technic pins. I don't know if I've seen these a whole lot myself, but yeah, just you can put an axle into one side. Otherwise, Technic pin there. Yeah, just 2 of those. 4 white flowers. We got quite a few, like 10-ish of these kind of teeth type parts, but you can see it's a 1x1 plate with this almost like nail part sticking out. And then as you can see, a ton of that 1x2 curved plate with holes in these studs. Just an incredibly great part, in my opinion. It allows for getting some movement in the angles like this. You can stick poles through them, or bars. You can put that one part into an open stud. Just incredibly a versatile part. And as you can see, there's a ton of them in white there. Just crazy. And in green, if you ever wanted to drive a dark green car, I think this was in one other set, recent car set, but it was not in dark green. And yeah, as you can see, we have basically, it's almost like a 2-plate cylinder kind of part in the middle there. And you can put an axle through there if you so choose, 4 studs, and then this can clip to bars, or can be clipped like a bar all the way around. Just crazy nice part. And as you can see, there's 6 of them. Obviously something great that's going to be able to be used in multiple ways for greenery, plants, flowers, etc., or even spaceships and different kind of stuff like that. A really nice part to see. Then we get into more of the flesh color. To some people this might be a little weird, but it's just kind of like, look at it like a beige color. So we have like 10 a pile of these car hood type front parts. So as you can see, it's 4 wide. You got a little part where you can put a 1x2 plate. Otherwise, we kind of have different levels of connection underneath. And as you can, like I said, there's like 10 here. So there's a lot of that part. And it's only in this set. 1x2 tiles in that same color. And then this other kind of car roof or hood. Kind of similar, 4 wide. You got a little divot there for a 1x2 plate. Otherwise, it kind of has a different connection. That's all kind of flat there. And again, like 10 or 12 of those. So this is literally all of bag 1. And this is probably one of the more craziest parts reviews I've done. Because when you're looking at these parts, it's like it's only in this set and you get a lot of them. So it's just kind of crazy. This is just bag 1. So I'm kind of excited to go into the rest of the bags, and I'm excited to build it, and I'm excited to get this gift to my mom. But this is just like an intermission, so we got more bags to go. So let's get into that next bag. All right, here we are at bag 2. This might be my favorite bag, and I think most of my fans and subscribers will know why. But let's look into these parts. So, first up, there's a lot of rare parts right off the bat. I think that's going to be a common theme throughout this entire set. So, first up, we got some red back here. Seen those before, pretty common. Tons in here though. In orange, which is kind of a rare color, we have these like rooftops for cars. I showed them in the first bag, but in orange, this is the first time we're getting that. These are also not too common, and these are all in this set for the first time. Wow. And these are not even that common. So there is a lot of uncommon parts in this set, and it's just insane. There's some yellow parts. This clip to bar here. Get that to focus while I smash my camera. You can see is a very versatile part. You can put a bar in there, and there's a clip. And you have 4 of them there. We also have 2 of these, which are introduced with Super Mario. The insane bracket brick. Oh my gosh. You can see studs on top, studs on each side there, studs on this side, anti-stud connection there with some variety, and just flat on the back. But there's 2 in here, which is really nice. We got some Technic parts. These in dark gray. I don't know if I've ever seen kind of the axle to axle kind of angler there. Just wow. Constantly looking at this. We got some nice Technic parts here. We got nice brown bars there. We got some lime green. I don't know if I've seen this type of part in that lime green. And the same with this. So this is probably kind of rare. The kind of axle connector there. Some dark green, more dark green of those studs with holes. Some flowers, which are kind of common. This weird ghoulish green in those kind of spike type parts or tooth parts. Sand green is loaded with stuff. Again, this set has just so much sand green action going on here. But we have these in sand green, which are in only a couple sets. We have these like Technic connection, almost like spider legs, and those are in only this set in that color. My goodness, these in dark green, only in this set. Nice bush detail part there, and I think that's a stud connection in there. I don't know if I've ever noticed that. But you could stick a bar through there too. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I ever noticed that. It's just insane. And these, I think, is the first time getting these in colored. Just lots of bar clip type versatile parts. Just 4 bars on each side. It's just crazy. And then these, almost like steering wheel pieces. You got bars all around in sand green. Tons of these sand green clips, but those are kind of common. A load more of those dark green axle connectors. My goodness, the parts just keep rolling out of this set. bright pink cones. I'm a fan of that. I don't know how common those are, but I'm a fan of dark pink. And light pink, bright pink, pink pink, all the pinks, magenta too. And speaking of that, the like droid head part in dark pink, just kind of like a cylinder cone trapezoid type part. You can get one stud on top there. You could stick a bar into that, and then you have an axle connection underneath, otherwise it's 2x2, and you have a plethora of them right off the bat here. It's not like a one of or a two of, you have tons of them. And then somewhat similar to that is the more rounded cone type part in magenta, which I don't think they've done before. Again, you could kind of stick a bar in there, connect an axle, very similar but rounded instead of kind of like trapezoidal. And then probably one of my favorite parts in this set is the like inverse flower piece here in magenta. And as you can see, it just looks nice, very detailed. And again, you can put an axle hole through there or even a bar. I know I've used them like this and then used like a bar to kind of put a connection so you have like a little thing in the middle there so it even looks better. But to get this in magenta, whew, I just love getting these flower and greenery parts in magenta. And just as a quick example, you can kind of see how they fit so nicely, and you can have them like kind of like a drooping type flower, or you can flip them around and have them a certain way, and they're just wow. And this is bag 2, and we have another bag to go, and that's just so, it's just so amazing. This is a $50 set with just tons of great parts and lots of them. It's not like, well, there's a new part, you get one of them. There's this new part, you get 2 of, you know, it's like there's this new part and you get 10 of them. So let's check out that last bag. All right, here we are on the last bag, and it might be the smallest bag, but it might have the most parts. But let's get into it. First of all, we have 2 more of those sand green super long slopes. We got 3 of these kind of smaller kind of slopes there, similar to that. We have 3 of these sand green surfboards. I just love the parts usage, the recolors. Oh gosh, another one of those dark green steering wheels. We got another one of those. Kind of weird. There's some plates in here. It's kind of unusual from what we had, but nice dark green. I love dark green. I use a lot for my City On stuff. More of those kind of dark green axle connectors. We even have some inverted dark green slopes in the 2x2. Oh gosh. In the 2x2 kind of design there, which I don't think I've ever seen. We got some green clips and bar connections there. We got another one of these awesome pieces. 2 of these, which I keep dropping, are this like half cylinder, almost panel type part. Just kind of interesting. I'll be excited to build this up and see how those get used. More of those Technic pins in black. We got more of these dark green jumpers. I don't know if there was some before. We have a bunch of these kind of flower stem branches in this reddish brown, and as you can see, it's that pin connection into pin hole. You don't see those too often, and usually only in a couple. Nice to see a whole bunch of them right there. Also an interesting part is this like crown piece or egg type piece. As you can see, it has a stud with hole in there, so you can put a bar in there. Anti-stud there. I believe they make a nice base to a flower. So cool to see that. And there's, again, quite a few of that in gold right there. We got a couple of the gold leaves. Don't think that there's really flowers that are gold, but I guess it'll match a color. I'm not sure. A whole bunch of these dark purple clips. The ones that are on that angle. The 1x1 plate to clip. 1 random dark purple circular tile jumper. A whole bunch of these lavender flowers. That's fantastic. I don't know if that's been in that color before. And then these medium lavender 3 leaves there, and a whole bunch of them right there. So this is the last bag. Wow. Just wow. There's only 3 bags for building, and I'm almost speechless on this. This might be one of the best sets parts-wise, especially with new parts, recolors, etc. Because not only are you getting a lot of new kind of parts, at least recolors, you're getting a lot of those parts. So it's not just getting a couple of these, you're getting a ton of them. So the parts value for this set, I think, is incredible because there's so many rare, useful pieces. Now, you might not like it if you don't like green and colorful colors, because there is some pinks and purples. Flesh color might be a little bit weird, but just it's amazing. For $50, it's hard for me to look at this and say this isn't almost $100 set. It's only missing minifigures, I guess you could say. But for what the parts and the amount you get, the new parts, I mean, I don't think there's any prints, but oh well. There's just a lot of parts. I'm speechless. Yeah, this is a great set. I'll do a review of it built up, and then I have to give it to my mom because I think this is a perfect set for her. I know she likes gardening and flowers and stuff like that. And I love Lego. So I think it could be really fitting, and I'll be interested to see how she reacts to that. So that is the end of this fantastic parts review. If you've watched all the way to the end, I super appreciate it. Feel free to comment your thoughts in the bottom of the video in the comments. Like, subscribe. I love this set. So thanks again for watching. Hopefully you'll check out some more of my videos. And just really, this is a great set. And I want to thank you for checking out my parts review.